Hello?
Hi, Creed. This is Joe Plummer.
Oh, hey. Thanks for getting back to me. Listen,
Yeah, how you doing?
Thank you. Got back to you. Well, yeah, I told you guys, I've got the thing in my closet right now. I can't tell if it's a raccoon or a groundhog or a possum, but it's big. It's fucking angry. I've got a rope around its neck, like on a stick, on a pole, a broomstick like this, but it keeps snarling back at me like this, and I think it's got fucking rabies. I don't want fucking rabies and the goddamn virus at the same time. So can you over right now with a cage and get it out for me? Hello?
Yeah.
I'm a little. I'm
yeah, this is
that's what you people do. This is the animal shelter.
No. This is
right?
Joe. And I've been texting you to get a tour story through Mark.
Oh, you're the guy that's been
bothering you.
Yeah. And I told you I wasn't interested in that thing, man. I thought you were the animal shelter. No. But don't fucking bother me, please. Okay. God.
Okay. Well, you seemed interested last time we talked. Are you there?
You might know Creed Bratton from his character in The Office, Creed Bratton. But more importantly, he was the guitarist for the Grassroots. He toured the world where he experienced plane crashes, dog attacks, and on-stage acid trips. He even learned the original purpose of the merkin.
From Ruinous Media, this is Tour Stories.
All right, Joe, I had a band. I didn't have a band. I was in a band in 1964, 1965 in Europe called the Young Californians. Greg Fitzpatrick and Lee Zimmerman. We were a folk trio. I played steel string acoustic. Greg played nylon string, and Leroy played banjo. We met in Munich in 64. We traveled all the way down through Europe and ended up in Gibraltar. We got on a ferry that took us over to Tangiers. I had my life threatened a couple of times in Tangiers. And we had hitched to Tripoli, Libya, and we met some people that worked for the Mobil Oil Company, Americans, and there was a whole American community there. So they got us a job. They talked to some people at the casino, at the big theater there in Tripoli, and we opened up for a Parisian dance group. And that was the first time I saw a merkin, which is, the merkin, for you people out there, a merkin is a fake pubic hair toupee for women, when they're dancing in their pants. So that, it's for the men to look at. And they would just put them on while we were there. And that was, that's not the scary part. But the thing that happens after that is they gave us some big sticks and said, be very careful walking back to where we live, because you have to walk back these back roads. And they told us we might run into some dogs. It was the third night after the show, and we played there for a couple of weeks actually doing this show. So the third night, we're coming back, and we've got our guitars and stuff, and we're walking back, and they had let us stay at their place. All of a sudden, we heard this growling, and we turned around, and there was a pack of dogs around us. So I can still remember the sound of our cases banging into each other as we got back to back. And literally, we fought for our lives. And I'm a dog lover, but I was swinging that stick and breaking ribs and smashing noses and gouging eyes. And we fought. We fought to stay alive. All right, Joe.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Grassroots. 1967, we were booked to play Pensacola. It's at Pensacola down in the panhandles of Florida. They had not paid close attention to the contract. It said 2 shows. We thought we would do an early show, take a break, and come back with a new audience. Well, no. They said, okay, now we're going to get in a plane and fly you to the other show. We said, no, we're not. We're this is a one place, one establishment show. And they said, no, look at the contract. And we waited, we delayed, we called our manager in L.A. He said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you're going to have to do this. So they drove us a car, and they already had a back line for us there. We just took, he took his hi-hat and his cymbal, and we carried our guitars and our bass, got on this little tiny plane, and we're flying to the town. I don't even remember the town. We're flying along, and it comes up, yeah, copy that. You'll see a amber light at the north end of the runway and a yellow light at the south end of the runway. Well, he starts to come down and land like this, and I see a red and a green light. And I go, excuse me. I said, that's not the color of what he just said. He turns around and points at my finger and says, you play guitar, I'll fly the plane. He was a big guy, big rough guy, you know. I said, okay, fine. And we were high, you know. but I knew deep down that something was very wrong. All of a sudden, we hit the runway. There's shit and crap and debris all over the runway. We hit something and we go off into a canal. And the plane is like at a 45-degree angle in the canal, and the lights are shining out from the plane. We see all these eyes, and I go, oh my God. And Warren goes, alligators. And I went, yep. And he said, oh my God. He said, well, don't get on the canal. I said, no fucking right. We're not getting in the canal. We're not climbing the canal. So we climbed up the wing, and we got off the plane, and we're hanging there on the side, and we're going, well, what's going to happen? All of a sudden, at the top of this hill, we see all these military jeeps with guys with guns and dogs. And they come down the hill, and they're pissed at us. We had landed at a restricted military airbase and crashed in a canal with alligators. So they arrest us, and they certainly put our hands behind us and put us in handcuffs, and they impound the plane. They put us in a brig. And then we called our lawyer, and we called our manager, and he explained to him what was going on. And they found out that we were the grassroots, not terrorists. They kept the pilot. He didn't get out. And then we took a taxi for like an hour and a half. I mean, we might as well have been a rap band. We arrived so late to this show. All right, this is probably the second time the Grassroots played the Fillmore in San Francisco. We flew up from L.A. We went to the Fillmore. We had the sound check. Ricky, the drummer, and I, Ricky Kuntz, he's not with us anymore. We'd like to go to People's Park. And there was all these people there playing hand drums and congas and stuff like that, bongos. And we'd come there and we'd smoke a joint, with them, and we'd play. So we were playing there and just, not getting crazy, just having a couple hits off this joint. And all of a sudden we hear a honk, and it's the tour manager. Guys, we got to go. We got to get to the show and get dressed and stuff. As we were walking to the car, we saw this young girl come up. And this is the 60s, and this is the summer of love. And she's in a gingham dress, and she's got toe rings on, and she's got a little decal of a flower on her cheek. And she looks up at us, and she had beautiful, corn blue eyes like this. She opened her hand, and she said, "For you." And in it was a little piece of white paper with a blue dot. Now, I had just read the week before the Newsweek article, and I knew it was Osley acid. And I went, oh. I said, it's acid. She said, for you. Again, so, just once was not enough. So I took it and she gave one to Ricky. As we were walking to the car, I went, oh, I took it down. We got in the car and we're heading to the gig, and he said, that was really nice. I said, yeah, she was really sweet. And he said, we should take this after the show. And I went, yeah, it's a good idea. We're tuning up in the dressing room, and I was getting my Chinese outfit on, which I had these big baggy white pants and the Nehru shirt that went down like this. It's typical flower power stuff back in the 60s, and the beads and stuff. We looked good. We looked very hippie. We're walking on stage.
And now, Grassroots.
All of a sudden, the acid starts coming on. And I look down at my hands. I had this moment where I saw colors coming through my hands. And in between my hands, I saw these vortexes of energy coming back. So I start moving my hands. I was God's concertina player. I'm playing this instrument. I'm looking like this. My guitar neck looked like I could bend it like a big rubber fish. And I hear, Creed, play. I hear Bill Graham going, play, play, God damn it, play. And I'm going, wah, wah, wah. I grab the guitar, and I don't want to play because I'm in a different place. I'm not in the musical place at this time. I'm in a psychedelic world. So I look up and I start to play the opening notes for Live for the Day. I look around at the speakers back there, and I see the notes come out of the speakers like cartoon notes. And they come out like this on the staff paper. They fall off the staff paper and they break. I go, oh, poor notes. And so I saunter over there. I'm down on my hands and knees with my guitar banging on the ground, scooping up the notes. I'm trying to put them back into the speaker, and they're just going, play, play. I look around. I can't play. So I did the next best thing. I never wore underwear back in the 60s and 70s. I just dropped my pants. And a little blue, let that pony dance, I said, And I'd heard it pays to advertise, but no one found it amusing at all. They were just looking like this poor fucking guy, And I wandered off and I started pontificating to the crew. They'd heard this story before, the meaning of life. We had to go back and make up the show. We had to fly back up the next week. And Bill Graham never spoke to me after that. That's the story of my acid trip in Fillmore, Joe. Ta-da, and good night. Thank you.
Thanks to Creed for the story. Tune to our next episode with Perry Shaw, the T-shirt King. T-shirt King. Shirts. Check us out at ruinousmedia.com/T-Stars.
She's a chan-choo toad. She's still a frog. She got no teeth. Lives under a log. Oh, my little chan-choo toad. She rose from the depths at the dawn of time. Found her in a well. Released her in the sky. Oh, my little chan-choo toad. Got the Big Dipper down her spine. Looking cool with her hair dyed black. She's mine, all mine. Oh, my little chan-choo toad. Oh, my little chan-choo toad.
Ba-cow.